everyone, and yes, here I've got a visa success story today from R, and it goes like this. I am a Taiwanese living abroad for over 10 years now. Having to obtain visas, residency permits has always been one of the most stressful topics of being a foreigner. When I was 21 years old, I moved to North America for university without knowing anyone and having any family there. I was lucky enough to get hired by a company right after graduation that would sponsor the application for my work visa. After filing piles of paperwork and jumping through numerous bureaucratic hoops, my application unfortunately fell through. Only because I didn't win the final lottery. Yes, you need to win a lottery even after having a job contract, paying a large amount of lawyer's fees and months of paperwork. I was devastated and felt completely lost at the time because that means I have to leave my 6 years of life here behind and start somewhere else all over again. I eventually decided to move to Europe, started with learning the language, learning European conventions in my field of work, and building a group of new friends. I made a vision board for the kind of life I would like to have, which includes an image of the permanent residency permit ID card of the country that I live in. Having a permanent residency permit means that I won't need any visa to stay in this country anymore. I have the freedom to stay and do whatever kind of job I want. Before I sleep, I would imagine holding this card in my hand and seeing my photo and my name on it. It feels really good, and I practice that feeling every once in a while. 3.5 years have passed. I checked the requirement for a permanent residency permit and realized that despite it being a bit premature, normally one would need a minimum of 4 years of working, I have all the required documents to apply. I sent in my application anyway. And after a couple of weeks, I got an invitation to the Department of Immigration for an interview. I was pretty nervous for the interview, to say the least, because technically I haven't lived in this country long enough to obtain a permanent residency permit. From what I learned about manifestation, though, I need to look past this interview, but to focus on the end result, which is how happy I would be after getting it approved. So I started planning a celebration in my head. And I got excited thinking about what kind of food I was going to cook for the celebration afterwards. I thanked the government employee who was going to review my documents beforehand for being very nice, which is not always the case with the immigration department, and for approving my application. On the day of my interview, I was honestly so nervous. While sitting in the immigration office, I started counting leaves on the little Lego toy tree on the office desk as my documents were being reviewed right in front of me. I just tried to focus on something else and I found it helpful to focus on really mundane things. Before I could finish counting, my interviewer said, "Okay, your documents look good and now we will order a new ID card for you." Now, I have this ID card in my wallet and I've cooked a feast for my friends in celebration of my new identity. A side note, I got this permit approved 6 months earlier than the usual process, which is very unusual because things regarding visas, residency permits are very strict and exact with their timing. I think the most important thing I've learned is to not get discouraged when things don't happen exactly the way you envisage, accepting that things may unfold differently, perhaps even more wonderful than you have imagined. It's important to hold your vision softly but firmly, and know that everything will turn out well for you. So just enjoy today and let the universe work for you. Sending you love. Well, that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well done. I don't know where you are in Europe and you haven't said. It might be a secret. But yes, big jumps in changing countries. I mean, it is a big thing, isn't it? For those of us that have moved around, that still move around, it is a massive thing and can be a great source of anxiety. So wonderful. Thank you for sending it in. And There are a couple of other YouTubes that you might find interesting on similar topics. They'll be down below in the description and up here next to my head at the end of the video, which is now. Lots of love, everyone. See you in the next YouTube.